Afternoon, guys. How you doing? Just a quick one. I mentioned possibly in my last video, if you've seen that I had a bit of kind of potentially life-changing news, or not wishing to sound too dramatic or anything, but I just thought I'd fill you in, as people seem to be interested, and I'm not sure if this comes under the subject of minimalism or not really. Maybe enforced minimalism, possibly enforced. Monday morning this week, I arrived at work, as I normally do, 9 o'clock in the morning, to be called into a meeting, which we found out subsequently was a nationwide meeting, to be told that our jobs are all under threat. So basically I'm under threat of redundancy. That's how it goes. My wife also works at the same place as I do, that's where we met. So both of us are under the threat of redundancy, basically, which was nice obviously. Celebrated my first wedding anniversary on Sunday. Monday morning I was told I might not have a job in 3 weeks' time, so there we go, one of those things. The reason I'm making the video, just to let you know about this really, is it's kind of brought up an interesting question for me. Won't go too much into the ins and outs and stuff, but basically I quite enjoy my job. I work in kind of an IT type of role, and I quite enjoy my job, so I was a little bit gutted to be told that I'm going to possibly be made redundant. The other reason it's really brought up a bit of a conundrum for me is that I've been given 3 choices through, as a result of this. 2 of which are to apply for different roles that are being created, neither of which I particularly want, because they're very different to what I'll be doing already, what I'm currently doing I should say, but neither of the 2 roles that I particularly want. And the third is to request voluntary redundancy, which will leave me unleashed upon the job market, which is not, as we know at the moment with the financial climate stuff, is not particularly fantastic. However, it has, like I said, brought up a little bit of a thing in the back of my mind that, as sensible as it is to, kind of beg and plead and cry to keep a job, I'm not particularly sure I want to jump through hoops and do presentations and write up dissertations and all this sort of stuff for a job that I don't particularly want anyway. Something in my brain tells me that it's wrong to be, basically begging for a job that I don't particularly want and I'm not going to enjoy, and I'll probably end up, when the job market picks up a bit better, looking around for another job anyway. So, like I said, it's brought up a little bit of a yin-yang thing in my back of my brain at the moment. Obviously I know there are people out there who struggle, and there's people out there who maybe have been made redundant and don't want to, or can't find work and things like that, and probably looking at the screen now, if you're watching this, thinking, what an idiot, just if you've got the chance for a job you should go for it, and all that kind of stuff. So I appreciate that, but from the other hand, there are guys and girls at my place at work who are going to be going for the same jobs as I would be, who are in far more needy positions than me, who have mortgages and kids and debts and bills and all this kind of stuff, that they really can't afford to be out of it. I'm not saying that I'm thinking about jacking in just because of charitable reasons or wanting to save anyone else a job, but even within one company you've got different types of people. So what's really kind of got to me at the moment is this nagging feeling that I shouldn't be begging for a job that I don't particularly want and I'm not going to enjoy, and maybe it's time for a fresh start and to take a risk, basically take a risk and look for something else to do. Been in my job for 5 years. Although it's okay, I quite enjoy my job, it's not particularly what I want. I don't ever remember as a kid saying when I grow up I want to work in an office and sit behind a PC. So, we only get one life and all that. And some of you guys I know, I've mentioned on a couple of videos I think before that, as well as working in an office and IT sort of thing, I also teach music in my spare time and at weekends, and I have a few students throughout the week in the evenings, and like I said, the weekends as well. I teach guitar and music theory and a few other bits and pieces, which is something that I always said I really wanted to do, but needs must. I have a job to pay the bills and things. So I'm wondering if maybe now is a chance to, maybe that's kind of minimalism, maybe simplify my life a bit, put my kind of control of my life in my hands, and maybe go and try and do something I really want to do. And I know in the olden days, you know, look at my parents and things like that, when you had a job for life. If you stayed with the company, that was seen as security. You worked for the same bank and you worked your way up from a T-boy to, you know, to bank manager and whatever else, and there was always that progression. But these days it's a little bit different. And I'm not quite sure job security classes is, you know, you're fine tonight, you wake up in the morning and your boss could say, sorry pal, don't need you anymore, you know. Need a month's garden leave, can you please close the door quietly on your way out? I'm not quite sure how much security that is when it could happen to me, it could happen to the guy working in the shop or the pub, or, you know, anybody else at the end of the day. So maybe that's part of my thinking, maybe that's why it's kind of some thought nagging at the back of my head that I would like to be in control of my own destiny and my own financial future, my own security, rather than giving it over to somebody sat behind a desk who can have a look down and say, right, okay, let's get rid of him and her and those two as well. So yeah, if anybody's got any thoughts, if anybody's been through a similar process at the moment, made a kind of career-changing decision, or just taken a leap really, leap of faith in yourself, then drop me a message, because I'd love to hear from anybody who's done like-minded stuff. And I'm certainly not talking about opting to take the check and run away and, you know, go and build a log cabin in the woods and do a whole Walden type of thing. Just to change the direction maybe. And like I said, I remember a question sort of was asked to me when I went to see a careers counsellor when I was at school. And I think me being me probably said I wanted to be an astronaut or a football player or something. The one question they always used to ask, which you've probably seen those kind of cliche thing, is if you won the lottery and you never had to work again, what would you spend your days doing? What would you actually do with your time? The theory being that if you said, well, you know, you'd spend your time maybe restoring old cars or something. The thinking then was, maybe you should become a mechanic, maybe you should run a garage, something like that. Or, you know, okay, well, if I won the lottery and never had to work again, that's what bills, I'd travel the world. Okay, well, maybe you should look into writing travel guides or working for a travel company or working on a cruise ship or something like that. I'm pretty sure for me I said that I just wanted to play music. It's kind of what I do when I'm not doing the other thing I do, sort of thing. So yeah, maybe it is a bit of a time, and to be honest, having that kind of, maybe that kind of monkey off your back, if you like, for want of a less cliched expression, that all of your finances and your family's financial future and your security and whatever else is tied up on a spreadsheet in somebody's, you know, on somebody's desk in somebody's office. You know, something somebody who works with me the other day made sense. I said, you know, kind of today you're important, tomorrow you're just a statistic. You know, well, as a famous guy once said, I am not a number. So I appreciate that probably a lot of people watch the video and say, well, what an idiot, if you've got a chance for a job you should do it, but you know, we only get one life, don't we? So maybe it's time to do something a little bit different. I've got about 48 hours before I've got to go to a meeting to tell my boss what I would like, and I think the whole process takes about 3 weeks, so it's come around pretty quick. Coincidentally, I think I've been told if I did go for one of these jobs that I don't particularly want, then I should be okay, I should be safe, but maybe this is a sign or it's a chance or whatever. I mean, we've come so far in the last year with everything, maybe it is. Not sure, I think maybe I'm just waffling now, so I'm going to say goodbye, but if anybody's got any thoughts or anything, or anybody's made a life-changing decision, or if anybody's in this kind of found themselves in the same sort of situation I am at the moment, then please give us a shout, because you know, it's been so cool to meet so many people through kind of YouTube and stuff like that. You know, like I said, it'd be good to have a chat. Also, quick last one is that I've been encouraged by a couple of friends of mine who do different things on the web to possibly look at starting up a blog, just to keep track of a few random thoughts and musings, and maybe I don't always have as much time as I'd like to kind of film videos, so at least if I've got something like that I can keep you guys updated and do a few more in-depth things and maybe get into a bit more conversation with people, which is hard to do on YouTube sometimes, as great as it is and fantastic as it is as well. Yeah, like I said, if anyone's got any thoughts or anything, I think all of us, if we, you know, I mean, how many people out there can say they genuinely enjoy what they do and they wake up in the morning thinking, you know what, I can't wait to get to work. I don't mind my job, I quite enjoy it when I'm there, but I certainly don't wake up in the morning feeling like I'm making a difference to my life or anybody else's, which I kind of do when I'm playing music or anything else. A friend of mine's an artist. He's got his own art studio, and he does painting, and he designs kind of Christmas cards and things for companies, stuff like that. And he loves his work. He works all the hours he can, not because he needs the money, but because he genuinely loves it. And any time he's not got a pencil or a paintbrush in his hand, he's kind of miserable. And I've always admired that about him. So if you're watching, Dan, that's for you. So I always admired it and always been a little bit jealous, but maybe never had the, how do I phrase this, had the balls or had the guts, whatever you want to put it, to make a change myself. So if you have made a kind of career change, like I said, give me a shout. I'd love to hear from you. But from grey old England, which is very grey as I'm looking at them at the moment still. I'll bid you farewell, but give us a shout. We'll keep you updated. And I've got some more stuff coming up on the web over the weekend as well. So take it easy, guys.